Phones off. Hey,
turn the ringers off and welcome to the show, everybody.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to SoundUp, Sound Off, the podcast and show where...
Doing a really good job at that.
It's off. That's odd. All right.
It's time for a new phone. Tim Cook said, please, get away from that iPhone. Is that 8 or 7?
Anyway, 7. SoundUp, Sound Off. Here we are. It is another Tuesday that we get to come to you live with our podcast that we enjoy making just for you. Look at that giant truck. Oh, my gosh.
That's a tractor.
Right. That's a tractor truck. We are in the SoundUp studio offices, and we are ready to talk about some topics and get to everyone's favorite segment, yours and mine. But we're going to start off with...
Random note. You know, I was going to make some stickers for SoundUp, and I was like, we get ones that like glow with the logo on the back. And then I realized that in 2016, they stopped putting the glowing logo on the back of the Apple computers. That's really depressing.
Got depressing.
Really quiet when I said that.
Also noticed that you're wearing purple today, which reminds me, did you see that...
is this purple or is it plum?
Baltimore Ravens ate goat for dinner on Sunday night by beating the New England...
I had goat cheese.
Goat. I think it's the acronym GOAT by beating Tom Brady and the Patriots. How do you feel about that real quick?
They actually played a difficult team, and they failed.
We had some friends, actually a business partner from SoundUp that was...
Not as bad as Aaron Rodgers.
That was at the game. Yeah, I'm glad every other NFC North team lost as well as us. At least it makes everybody sad and depressed on the same day. But anyway, back to the topic that Baltimore did beat New England Patriots on Sunday Night Football. We did have a business partner that was there live, said he enjoyed it. It was an awesome atmosphere. And one more sports thing for our podcast people that actually enjoy this time of the segment. UK basketball starts tonight. Michigan State versus UK, 9:30 p.m. after the college football playoff reveal. Who do you think is going to win, UK or Michigan State?
UK.
Perfect. Love it. By the way, if you didn't know that, SoundUp, we are UK fans, except for one business partner, which will shun him for the rest of the NCAA basketball season. Moving on.
What is he, a Turtle fan? I feel like.
Puke Duke. Yeah.
He's from
Exactly.
Maryland?
That's the face I make all the time whenever he talks about it.
Okay. All right, so the first topic I have today is ARM. What do you know about ARM?
I have two, and I'm going to assume it's an acronym.
So ARM is a technology thing, and
Automated Response Mobiles.
So this runs something called not ARM x86 configuration, but these run ARM chips. And it's a different way of, I'm not going to get into the stuff on that, but Windows recently announced their new ARM Surface, which means you could put an LTE SIM card in it, right? And it has internet. And it's a full-blown computer, and they're trying really, really hard to do this, but they're not powerful enough to run things like Photoshop. Do you think that, would you rather have a computer that lasts 20 hours, right? Super light and thin. You can put a SIM card in it and have internet all the time, but you can't edit video on, or a computer that you have to have plugged in and, like the old school. Because everyone's making a huge push for like iPads and all these things to be like your main computer devices. Now, iPads are very powerful, and Apple optimizes their own software, but this computer comes out and it's like $1,200, and you can barely edit a video on it. But I think everything else it does is fine, like browsing and stuff.
I do think that's an issue. Obviously, as content creators and multiple businesses where I create a lot of content, I would not want a device where I cannot edit or be powerful enough to really create on, especially if spending that price point. So, I would just like, that's the whole, like, my philosophy with Chromebooks, right? I think are great for like students. To an extent, like elementary. I'm talking like elementary school students, because I think once you get to high school in 2019, 2020, you should be creating. I know my son takes like a photography and graphics class and that kind of stuff, so you're going to have creatability on the devices and tech that you're using. And I think in our culture, branding, marketing, the creative, the content side is important. But the Chromebook, just browsing and doing work online in that elementary and middle school age, he leaves every single I flipped that before the show. You did it. All right. Anyway, so so I don't think it would be very useful from an adult perspective when I don't need a computer that just does browsing when I have this or voice technology.
Okay, so if you didn't edit your own photos and videos, and you could use something like SoundUp to do your audio content, would you use a Chromebook full time? Would you give up that? I don't need to, but I want
because we're getting an app.
Well, no, I'm just saying. I run into this like.
Why would you need something just for browsing that
Well,
you can't
there's
create
a lot
on?
You can create on it. There's Canva.
You just said you can't create on
Canva. I'm talking. Could you just use internet-based tools, or is there part of you that's like, I kind of still want the ability to do this if I need to?
Yeah, I don't want two devices, basically. What you're saying is I'm going to have a device for editing video.
Okay, say you never have to edit video, you personally.
But
okay?
that world doesn't exist, and that's what I was saying.
But I'm saying, would you sacrifice everything just to have like super long battery life type thing? I mean, if you didn't edit video. Like say you have a full-time videographer.
I do edit video.
Full-time videographer.
I'd like a unicorn too, but I don't have one.
We're make-believing here. Do you not have an imagination? Anyway, I have a problem. I'll tell you this: if I didn't, I still feel like I always need like in my mind I have to know I have a real computer. I couldn't just use that. That's where I'm going.
So you're arguing that
no,
was
I wanted
my statement. Was I couldn't have two devices. I need something that does video.
I'm saying even if I didn't do video in my head, I'm so like in my head I was like I don't do video, but if I wanted to, I want the ability to do it. So I wouldn't get that device. Never mind. This analogy is going so far away from where I
would not get that device either. So it sounds like we are.
You can do an iPad because they have their own video editing program. But
it sounds like we're in agreement that to have that type of computer for long battery life that doesn't have video is not efficient in today's world. Correct.
Right, but I'm saying
what
awesome. If you're a regular business person? I'm just saying like you're not a video person, but okay.
I am a video person.
Chris doesn't have an imagination. He doesn't know how to do role playing. Anyway, reviews have been coming out for those Echo Pods, which is Alexa in your ear. It's like the AirPods, and apparently they're really good.
Do you have a picture?
No, but they look like AirPods black without a stem.
Well, then they don't look like AirPods. They look like your Samsung ones.
They look like these.
Yeah, those are the Beats or Samsung.
These are the Jaybird ones. Yeah.
Okay. So and they have Echo in the ear. I've actually seen more commercials for Echo-enabled devices running on TV, and like a lot of push. And we actually, if you go back a couple episodes, we talked about Amazon's big conference and where they revealed like 212 different something crazy. But I think you're starting to see more in marketing, probably in your Facebook feed and on TV and YouTube and that kind of stuff. Different Echo-enabled devices from faucets. From Delta to they're really pushing the Echo car with Peyton Manning or the what's it called? Auto, thank you. Echo Auto. There's another one I just saw with I think it was Beats.
I think that's State Farm just saying they're giving you one.
Beats. Well, no.
It's State Farm. They're giving you a free Echo Auto if you sign up for State Farm.
Peyton Manning's not with State Farm. He does the Nationwide.
Oh, okay, Nationwide, whichever one.
Anyway.
Marketing's not working on me.
Apparently. So anyway, and then I just saw, I think it was Beats. Was it Beats that have the audio-enabled or the Echo-enabled headphones?
I would think it's Siri.
I think it's a Siri with Beats?
Yeah, because Apple owns.
I just saw another one, though, with Amazon. What brand did you just say? Or are you saying they're coming out with their own?
They're their own, yeah.
Oh, they're their own. Okay. All right. So the fact that those are, I guess in my head, you'd have to really want Alexa-enabled ones, but I think Alexa's starting to partner with more companies to have enabled apparatuses, things, faucets, and just all kinds of stuff becoming voice-enabled. Voice is moving. The technology for voice to be integrated with everyday items is moving forward.
There is an oven that has been recalled though recently, I will tell you, that has people have caught it on video turning itself on at night because someone was talking at some point and it thought that someone at one point said turn on the oven at 4 a.m.
That's odd.
It's creepy.
I just remember the commercial I saw last night for Monday Night Football was a I don't remember if it was Amazon or if it was a Facebook or what the technology, but it was a microwave with a screen on it. You could talk, video chat with the screen. It had cameras on the top and bottom, so you could cook. You could like see what the stove was. And
how do you cook in a microwave though?
No. The cameras on the bottom of the microwave so they could see the stovetop. 'Cause you know how your microwave's usually above your stovetop.
Yeah, if you have a fancy house
So
like
you could you could
I don't have a mansion.
the camera, you could switch it to people like cooking together, so you could see like the hands and what they were putting. Like you could make like a cooking video almost, but it was a phone call. So like Uncle Jimmy was like, "Hey, what you guys cooking?" and switched to the camera that was on the stove, and it had him like stirring a pot.
You
of
mean
sauce.
the hood had because I've never seen a microwave over a stove. You mean
you need to come to my house then apparently, because that's like very typical for the microwave being over the stove.
I mean, doesn't the heat rise up underneath it? Isn't it like next to it?
That's
usually?
why microwaves have fans built into them, and on electric stoves it doesn't matter as much.
Your
Natural
house is
gas
so
is a little bit-
fancy.
That is so typical. Oh my gosh, you're a real estate photographer. Gosh dang it.
And I always see the hoods. I never see the microwaves over. I really never.
Then you're only doing like natural gas then most of the time.
I guess I've never paid attention to it, to be honest with you.
Anyway, so like when you do, we're gonna go through some of your photos after the show. I want to show you.
I probably have, and I'm just completely.
Anyway, so the camera's on both. But anyway, you're talking to the microwave, and like you can open Uncle Jim's microwave, put it back. So I just and start and like you can say like start microwave 30 seconds, like all that's there. It's now. That is existing. Mm-hmm. They're running commercials for it.
Now, if someone can have a stovetop that has an arm that comes out and keeps stirring something for, I'm not even kidding. Think about that. It just comes straight down and keeps stirring in a circle for you. That would actually be really useful.
I just watched a Terminator, one of the recent Terminators, like over the weekend, so I'm getting a little scared of all this.
Yeah, you should. Last thing I want to talk about is promoting flash briefings. We have people ask us all the time about, hey, no one's listening to my flash briefing.
Sounds very
and one of the things I like to ask people, and some people do, we've had some people kind of reach out to me and say, no one's listening. How do I get listeners? And I ask them, have they shared it? And they just respond, no. So I want to kind of talk about a little bit about organic, that your audience might not necessarily think of going to Amazon's app and searching for your name. And if you don't have your keywords set up correctly, they may not find you. So we wrote a blog post last spring, maybe, and it pretty much holds up still about keywords. And I want to, I'm going to link that in a comment or the description of this, because I really want everybody to go check that out. But also, make sure you're sharing it. You can go onto Amazon.com, search for your skill, and there's a share. Hit the share link, copy that link, and share it on social media. Because
Daily.
it's not
Daily.
people are not searching the Alexa app the same way they're searching YouTube.
I'm gonna do mine right now.
So take that into consideration when you're just kind of hoping for only organic traffic. They're never going to find anything you do organically very often unless it goes viral or you have a huge audience and stuff like that. So if it's something new and you're starting it, we were just talking about earlier, if Casey Neistat put out 2 videos for 2 months and then quit, we wouldn't know who he was. So
yeah, and I'll add to that, and even more so, especially because we know the space is wide open. So there's some organic, but at the same time, your organic isn't powerful because people aren't yet naturally searching on Amazon. Like, I think the organic is there because the space is so new and so open that the keyword blog he was talking about, like it is powerful keyword. Like, I just typed in like very minimal stuff on Amazon to find my Alexa flash briefing, one of my flash briefings here, but it's not yet natural for people to be searching for flash briefings because the skill market and the flash briefing skill market is still so new. It's not like podcasting world yet. I mean, even podcasting's like just coming of age in recognition of like search and that kind of stuff. And same way, like you're talking about YouTube and like all that is, it's not quite here yet. The organic's super powerful, but the audience isn't naturally searching yet. So what you have to do is be even more proactive in the content you create around your flash briefing. So you can't just leave it in the Amazon space. You got to pull your flash briefing, your custom skills, talking about them through all your other content, sharing graphics of them, creating posts about them, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, like all the platforms that you're promoting your business in, and branding everything else about what you do or what you sell or what your career is or what you're an entrepreneur about or what your business is. You got to talk in the same vein across all those channels and all the same mediums about your flash briefing and custom skills if you want them to be heard or found.
Yes, and thank you, Adam. He just threw the link in for that article in the description comments.
Can I not share it though from mobile?
You used to be able to. Wait, are you on Amazon or the Alexa?
I'm not in the Alexa app. I'm on Amazon.
Yeah, the mobile Amazon you can't. They've actually
mobile Amazon you can't. On the desktop you can though, because I know the little Twitter.
Right. But the best link is to do it through the app, because when you do that, it sends them to their own app. So that link is a very powerful link that will send them directly to it, way better than the website one. So you just go into the Alexa app, go to skills.
Go to your skills.
Go to your skills or go to search. Find the skill, and search would have been faster. You have a lot of skills.
Thank you. I know. But why can't I just do mine? I thought, actually, when I said your skills, I was wrong. I thought it was my skills, like my personal skills.
Yeah, apparently.
I don't even have my personal
One thing you're not skilled at is finding your own skills.
Well, let's just do SoundUp. So SoundUp Now, we have a skill here. And then share
right.
at the top right. And I can share it anywhere I want.
Or copy the link.
Or I might just tweet it out real quick.
Send it to Trello, where no one goes.
Make sure you add some little hashtags.
That's what we should talk about, is how many people have signed up for software that they're going to use as a team and never use it. Like Trello. Our Trello is so full of, it's like an empty graveyard.
Graveyard? No, it's not empty. That's the problem. It's a graveyard of great ideas.
Actually, we do have one. I think it was called like the ideas board or the brainstorm
or the
board
lounge,
or something.
The brainstorm.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Idea lounge.
There's nothing there.
All right.
I mean, there's something there, but there's like no one there.
Are you ready? Hold on. Ready? I have a new
song.
Don't do that. I have a new song.
Don't do that in the microwave. I mean the microphone. It's in microwave. We're talking about microwaves.
Alexa, skill thumper.
Okay, that's the grossest. I'm sorry, everybody. That's disgusting. Stop. I'm going to turn your microphone off.
Pop rock.
Okay. I've muted his mic. That's disgusting. That's not what it sounds like. You're like that is the grossest sound I've ever heard in my life. You're all very welcome. Okay. Yes, you can hear it. I can hear. Okay, mic's back on. Please don't.
Okay. So we have Halloween candy left over. Halloween candy left.
If you're driving in your car and you've had to pull over and throw up because of what Chris is doing right now, he has Pop Rocks in his mouth. But that's not what it sounds like on the microphone.
Pop Rocks.
It sounds like
still eating Halloween candy.
It sounds like things I can't even say.
Alexa, skill thumper. What? All right. Pop. Anyway, all right, so we have a topic for today, an Alexa Skill Stumper segment, the one that you all have been waiting for. Super excited for this one because I get to bookend the episode with sports. So our industry for this segment of Alexa Skill Stumper is
eBay.
That's not it. Sports betting. eBay is a company, not an industry. So
eBay's
it's representative of online buying and auction sites. Regardless, that's still not the one we're talking about. So sports betting industry. Actually, I have some ideas since you said
sports betting's not my buddy, though.
It's not your buddy?
No.
All right, neither's your dad. So, all right, so
you should say eBay would have been funnier. But whatever. I gave you the opportunity.
Why is eBay your buddy?
I passed you the ball and you were looking the wrong way.
Oh my God.
Sports betting.
We have a lot of sports analogies here. Let's hit the home run. All right, so we're gonna knock this out of the park and do.
That was very punny.
This segment. So sports betting, I think is interesting because here's what I think about the sports betting industry. I think they're making such huge pushes with DraftKings and different sites like that over the last couple of years. I believe sports betting will, in the next 5 to 10 years, become much more legal and mainstream via the internet across all 50 states. I
thought they passed a law last year where it was. That's why the NFL introduced it.
I still think there's some caveats of states control on betting.
Did they do?
We should Google that before we do a segment like this, but
You should. I do know that about DraftKings though, which is one of the main. When we talked about this earlier, was one of the main ones I thought about. Which is, if you don't know, everyone knows what fantasy football is. You draft a team, you have that team throughout the year, but DraftKings is where you do it every single week, a different team, and you have these players, and you have a certain amount of points, money, whatever. It may cost you.
Yeah, in the USA, it's still likely no. It's still state to state.
Okay. So anyway, one of the things that I would find super useful is if DraftKings, hello DraftKings, you should have an Alexa skill so that every time I'm curious about a player, I can. So they give you fake money like $20,000, and you can split it between players. Different players cost different amount. So if you're playing Drew Brees, who is playing against the Miami Dolphins, he's going to get a ton of points. He's going to cost more money, right? So if I could say, how much does Drew Brees cost this week, or what is his projected score this week, as I'm trying to think in my head to put a team together, because if you put the right team together that gets the most points for the least amount of money, you can win a lot of money, actually. I have actually on DraftKings won over $100 off of like 25 cents. Not even lying. Like, I've won real money off it. I lost all of it, but I did that. And I would find that super useful to ask about what was the I'm not in the regular betting stuff, but what is it when people talk about the scores and there's you cover.
Yeah, the cover.
Yeah, like you can ask that about different games would be super useful, because that changes though too, depending on people getting hurt, and I assume it changes hourly, maybe even. So that would be something very useful. Or just hey, is it legal in my state yet?
That's a good one. So apologize to DraftKings in case they're watching or listening to our podcast.
No, don't apologize. You guys,
you
we'll make you a skill.
You do have a custom skill, which is what I was about to say. So DraftKings does have a custom skill already. But a lot of what Sean was just talking about, though, I would say is in the flash briefing realm as well. I think you could really win by providing real-time data. And remember, you can do flash briefing skills. You can upload audio hourly, daily, or weekly. But really going over a multifaceted of sports or big games in your flash briefing, and then direct people through the Read More card to your website or to a site where they can get more information, but highlighting some really big factors in games or sporting events for that day. So I think you can utilize a flash briefing skill like DraftKings has a custom skill as well. Get to that in a second, but your flash briefing doing over unders or what's the spread, or where what players are injured. You talk about fantasy. So there's lots of things you could do in the flash briefing realm to hit the highlights, direct them back to your site through clicking the Read More in the Alexa app, and then taking them to a bigger site where you have more of your data for all sporting events for that day. Custom skills. Now, here's what's interesting. Like I said, if betting's legal in the state, and I don't know if Alexa is going to go this way of certain state parameters, but I mean, if you could bet through the Alexa, that's going to get huge. Like if you can lay money, you have your account already tied to your Alexa anyway because you can order products. Once they open that up for voice betting on certain sporting events, I think, oh my gosh, that would just explode, not having to go through the hassle and constraint of going to a website or anything like that, but just being able, like the Ohio State game's getting ready to start. Hey, let me put $50 on Ohio to cover. Like that would be amazing through the Alexa app. What you got?
There's actually a Yahoo Fantasy one, and I do use that, and so this will be really interesting to see how it works.
So fantasy microing down to like fantasy football, there's probably going to be some skills stuff. So you could create multi-skills based on the sport. That's another thing I think for big betting places to add some value is creating custom skills or flash briefings that are very sports specific, have multiple skills in the store, brand it to you. That could be about football, basketball, hockey, baseball. If you want all the majors, you go to boxing, UFC fighting, whatever it is. And
let's try this out. So I can say, ask Yahoo about my fantasy matchup. Good job, Yahoo.
Probably because they didn't use SoundUp Now to build their skill.
It's possible. Is that what I'm supposed to say? Let me see. Open Yahoo Fantasy Football.
Welcome back to Yahoo Fantasy Football. you today?
You have to invoke the skill.
Ask Yahoo Fantasy Football about my matchup.
I can tell you about your league standings, give you weekly score updates and injury reports for both your team and individual players, and show you fearless forecast videos with player info and projections for this upcoming week. Which would you like?
Standings.
Your record is 6-3. You're currently in third place in your league. I've also sent a card to your Alexa app with the full standings for every team in your league.
Ooh.
Is there anything else I can help you with today?
How do I get in first place?
There are many different things you can ask this skill.
Okay. All right.
That's not one of them. So anyway.
Nope. Oh, it does show. So I tell you though, the only reason I'm in third place is because second place has a worse thing, but they're in another division. I'm 6-3. They're 5-3. But it's neither here nor there.
Apparently it's here.
I beat them.
All right, so
Should be in
apparently
second
this is something that is real. Now, we haven't always done Alexa Skill Stumper with people that already have skills going in this, but these are big players, so smaller betting rings and that kind of stuff. And I know some of this is state controlled and that kind of thing, but there may be smaller sport betting businesses that exist out there. So I think you have obviously some examples to go by, but again, it goes back to what we were talking about, promoting your skill in your flash briefing. If you're a smaller entity in sports betting and you want to gain some ground and really kind of copy the big boys but promote your skill better than them, because we didn't even know that some of these existed, which is just, again, talking about searching organically, there's opportunity. There's opportunity right there to add value to a consumer. And then as the custom skill arena grows, again, I don't know if they're going to ever allow this, but voice sports betting would be huge. Tips and tricks, like special, subscribe. So we could use our subscribe skillet where you email and you'll receive an email for, I don't know, the top fantasy pick of the week, like the secret. I don't play fantasy, but is there
Sleepers?
Yeah, sleeper of the week or something.
Yeah,
for
because
people
there's people that are really cheap because they're not popular that might be like a backup running back. So he might be $1 where a regular running back's $10. Well, you can get that guy because he's so cheap, because he's the backup, and then he does really, really good for you. So you spend that other money on the quarterback.
But you need somebody on the other side of the skill, whoever is the sport band.
Oh, there's tons of people that do that.
Give their analytic advice on that.
Yeah,
that you
all
would
of you
trust.
people that do that, which I know there's a bunch of you, you should do that.
All right.
It is raining so bad, the weather-wise, it looks almost nighttime
It does
outside.
look like nighttime.
That is really kind of...
All right, well, we hope you enjoyed this segment of Alexa Skill Stumper. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Sound Up, Sound Off. We are going to eat more Pop Rocks.
I'm hanging up before you guys have to hear this. Bye.